Hey, scrappy people. We did it. We are at the very last December Daily 2017 video. Can't believe I made it through this project. I'm so excited to finish it. And I was so excited that I actually worked backwards. So I had this idea for December 25th, and I needed to get it out of my brain before I worked on December 24th. So I'm currently doing that. So this is December 25th, and I actually do not take a lot of photos on Christmas. In fact, I took like 3 photos on Christmas, and they were all, except for this one of the frost on the windshield, they were all blurry or just not great photos because I relax on Christmas and I don't worry about getting the perfect photos of the kids opening presents. I just do my thing and chill out, and it always leaves me with not much to choose from for my Christmas photos. So I chose to make the one photo that I had that wasn't blurry the main photo for Christmas Day, and I turned it into a tag. And on the other side is actually Christmas Eve, but that doesn't really matter to me because it was also a great photo for this large tag. So in between the 2 photos, I'm actually sandwiching a couple of tags, one with a photo of the aftermath of Christmas morning and one with a photo of Patrick and his brother and Karsten, and we all squeezed into a bar table at the restaurant that we went to for Christmas, and we had 6 people around a 4-top bar table, and Patrick was like in the middle of telling a story, and it's not a great photo, but it really tells the story of our Christmas, so I wanted to include both. So I am putting raffia on the tags, and on one side of the tags is "Have yourself a merry little Christmas," and then it has the photo on the back. But on this one is a photo on the front, and on the back is blank. So I'm going to add my journaling in on the back of the tag, and now they have something on both sides, both tags do. So I'm going to use these big numbers for my 25, and I'm going to put them right in the empty space on this photo. And I got my ATG for Christmas. My mommy bought it for me because she watches these videos and she was tired of me complaining about my tape runners. And I tried to use it for this wood veneer, but it wasn't working out so well. So I get out my little tape runner, which does work fine on wood veneer, and use it on the number 2. And then I offset the number 5 just slightly. And I'm feeling like I need something else on this tag. I like the frost, but it still feels really like blank and empty to me. So I'm kind of auditioning a few things. And I decided that I liked this Merry Christmas that is a red puffy sticker. And I initially was going to put both, but Christmas took up a lot of room and it was kind of hard to fit it in there. So I decided to just do Christmas by itself. And I'm kind of squishing it as I adhere it to make sure that the whole word gets on the tag because it's slightly bigger than the 4 inches of the tag. And I'm just going to cut off the tail on the end there. And then I add a couple of red stars and call that one good. And so I decide not to do anything with the other side of the tag. I just leave it the way it is, and I like the way that it looks, just kind of closing off the album with a nice peaceful photo. And I didn't love the way that the raffia was so thin, so I'm just kind of pulling it apart a little bit and spreading out the raffia so it's not so thin. And this one was a pain in the butt to get apart. There we go. And then I need to do it to the big tag, which is a little bit less of a pain in the butt. And then into the album it goes. And trim it down. And then I can move on to December 24th, which was actually a bigger spread. So I have these photos from my mom's house, and I'm not gonna, like, I'm done. I'm done with this album. I'm ready to move on. So I'm not gonna get too crazy with the 24th. I'm just going to use my pockets and keep it simple on myself. But of course, you know me, simple means something different to me than it does to other people. So I do some embellishing here. I added the flowers from the Very Merry line to this card because just a blank grid card is just a no-go in my album. So I'm adding some word strips. And then I decided to add the 24 to this card as well. And then I'm also going to add my journaling onto this card. And we will fast forward through that. Da, 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 da. And then I could have just left these photos blank. They're good photos. They don't need embellishment, but I can't do that. So I add a bunch of word strips to these photos. This one, it felt like the word strip didn't have enough of an impact on this photo. So I'm going to pull the candy cane heart from the Very Merry 12 by 12 sticker sheet. And I'm going to put it behind this gold foil word bit. I'm going to put it right in the middle of the photo. Good. And I'm going to add these teeny tiny red gems that I've been adding throughout this album from the November Cocoa Daisy kit. I'm just going to kind of scatter them, give it that magical sparkle effect. Now I'm looking through the word strips again because I am word strip crazy. And I'm going to add one to this photo. And then once I get it down, I kind of want to have a heart behind it. So I pull it up, and luckily it came up fairly easy. And I just put the heart right behind it. Call that one good. Then this one, I'm not sure. Like I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, because I feel like I'm kind of on word strip overkill here. But I'm going to do it anyway because I love word strips. And so this one, like, I need to do something more than a word strip here. So I look through these these stickers, and nothing comes up. But I had these Jolie's Boutique Santa hats that I bought for a different craft project. And I thought it was cute right there on Joe. And I pull off the gem because I kind of didn't like the gem. But when I pulled it off, I really didn't like the way it looked without it. So then I glued it back on. And now I'm going to add a couple of word strips to the bottom because I couldn't resist. Word strips on all the things. And then this side is golden. So I'm going to switch to the next part, which is these photos I took on Christmas Eve of us all around the Christmas tree. And initially, I was going to do 2 pocket pages for this spread as well. So I have these photos pulled out that I was going to use. And you can see I used the Christmas tree photo that I actually made big. And I decided instead of like cutting down a pocket page, I would just use a flip pocket and kind of hide this story of them. They were scattering reindeer food in the dark, and it was so cold. And they had these headlamps on that they had just gotten that day from my mom and her husband for Christmas. And so it was perfect. It was nearly impossible to get a decent photo. I took like 30 and 1 or 2 turned out, not blurry, but I got one. And so I want to tell the story of them spreading reindeer food in these headlamps. So I'm just going to make it a hidden story with hidden journaling. I'm adding a tab to this page, this flip pocket, so that you know it's a flip pocket and you have something to pull it down with. But I didn't want an upside down word when you flipped it, so I'm just going to add a blank, like a sticker, pattern sticker on the back. And I'm notching this patterned sticker into a banner and adding a word strip over it. I was looking at other word strips, but oh my gosh, I'm just word strip crazy. So I add a puffy sticker star, a couple puffy sticker stars, and call it good. Now I need to do the journaling for the story, making sure this pocket is aligned. So I'm going to pull this journal card out, and I'm going to add my story first because I didn't quite know how long the story was going to be. But you can see I have a lot of room there on the bottom after the story is told, so I'm going to embellish afterwards. And that sticker said, "Hey Santa," which I thought was good for this story. And initially I was just going to add a couple of hearts, but I felt like it needed something more, and I was kind of rushing through this last video because I'm just, like I said, I'm done. Aren't you like always just done at the end of the December Daily? I mean, I love this album and I love the way it came out and I love the process, but oh man, by the time I get to Christmas, I'm just done. So I add in some wood veneer, a house and a tree, because we kind of live in a wooded area, so it makes sense in my head. So I add a house and a tree in with the hearts, and it takes up the rest of that space, and it's perfect. Put that in there. Now I need to decorate this, these two photos, the one of me and my husband and the one of all of us together. I really like the photo of my husband and I, but I'm not a huge fan of the way I look in the bottom photo, so I kind of embellish to that nature. I'm going to put good cheer on this photo of my husband and I. And in the end, I thought it was a little bit big for this photo, but I just went with it anyway. And I didn't love the way that the heart kind of blended in, so I'm going to add another candy cane heart, but this time I'm going to make it with puffy stickers. Then I'm going to add a heart right in the middle, which I didn't like the black one, so I'm going to switch to the green one. And that's better. And then last but not least is this photo of my whole family, and I'm going to use that big green Christmas tree to cover up the lower half of my body. And I add another die cut and then another word sticker. And I am about done here. Add it all in. Find another word sticker. Can never have too many. There's actually a lot of words on this spread between the card and the stickers and the tab and the Christmas on the tag. My goodness. But words are kind of my thing. I love just typography is my thing, so I guess it just really expressed itself on this spread. So I'm adding more jewels to the tree to decorate it a little bit, and I am all done. So I'm gonna put it back in the pocket, then I will flip through this a couple times and we are all done. So if you enjoyed this spread, if you enjoyed this album, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. We'd love to have you. Thank you. Have a happy new year.